What up, though? Today we're talking about why did we start including faith inside of our programs? Welcome to the Unstuck Podcast. I'm your host, Drew Koss, and today we're going to talk about why we started including faith inside of our programs. As I mentioned, while you're at it, make sure you subscribe so that we can keep getting our message out to you and to others and to the world. And as Michael Jackson said, make this world a better place. So, um, faith has always been something that I've talked about. I've never shied away from it, but I realized when I came into the fitness industry, there was always the big no. Don't talk about politics. Don't talk about religion. And I don't consider faith to be religion. I consider my faith to be the core part of who I am. And I consider faith to be my belief in Jesus Christ. Now, to just give a disclaimer, I don't turn anybody down who doesn't believe in Jesus Christ, but I don't neglect talking about Jesus Christ in my faith. So it's up to them if they want to work with us. But we won't stop talking about Jesus Christ. We just won't be disrespectful. So I'm going to tell you the main reasons why we included it in our programs. Uh, Besides just niching down, because I do feel there's a lane for me with faith and fitness that can go in many ways. But the number one thing is the rise of mental health is very, very scary right now. And what do I mean by that? A lot of people have always struggled with mental health, but seeing it now becomes something that is at the top of the list and it's becoming dangerous. What do I mean by that? I've seen people just speak out about how they wanted to commit suicide, how much stuff they're going through, and you can't tell these things just by looking at them. But it's happening and it's rising, and I don't think it's gonna decrease. For me, I believe mental health. One of the big issues with it is we're trying to solve a spiritual problem with a natural weapon. Like the Bible talks about in Second Corinthians 10 and 4. No, sorry. Ephesians 6 and 12. One of these ones, I think it's Second Corinthians 10 and 4. Second Corinthians 10 and 4, yep. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers. Let me actually find the scripture because that's going to bug me if I don't find it, but I'll keep talking. With that, we're not wrestling against just the natural stuff. You're usually wrestling against something that's bigger than you, something that's greater than you, and that's called the enemy. And if we're not careful, we'll start to fight this issue with logic. We'll start to fight this issue with affirmations. We'll start to fight this issue with just manifestation. So, me bringing up faith helps open the door to realize, hey, you're not going to win that fight naturally because you're fighting against somebody who's known you, who has a lot of victories, and who knows so much ways to trip you up, which is the enemy. The verse I found it is Second Corinthians 10 and 4, so I'll read it for you guys. It says, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of the strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God. And then the scripture which I was combining is Ephesians 6 and 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So with that being said, we want to make sure people know that you can win this fight, but you're not going to win it with your natural tools. This is not going to be won by you being just smart. It's going to be won by you fighting back spiritually and finding out who am I fighting and what tools do I have what tools do I have to use in this fight? And that's important. So number one was because of the mental health. Number two is I've realized that I don't want to work with people for one day. I want to work with people where we go deeper. And the reason for that is people are complex. People have lots of issues, lots of things going on. And if we just try to tackle just the fitness part, we're going to do them almost a disservice. And I did that for years where we tried to fix the fitness part. And part of it worked, but I knew deeper there, if I can get into this person's life of some sort deeper, it it will change a lot for them. So this is why I think there's so much turnover in the fitness industry, things like that. We're not deep in these people's lives. And everyone knows usually if you're not deep in someone's life, the first thing that happens, excuse me, the first thing that happens if they want to stop, uh, if something happens financially, they usually quit fitness first. So we wanted to go deeper into people's life. We wanted to do life with them versus just trying to fix the fitness problem. So that takes time. That takes being more attentive. That takes being more selective. Right now, I don't actually work with people who are not going to commit. If you're trying to get in shape for your birthday, I'm not the trainer for you. If you're trying to get in shape just to do one thing in a couple of weeks, I'm not the trainer for you. I can send you somebody, but that's not our style. So first was for the mental health crisis. The second was helping people really like get into their lives, and then thirdly, I realized from a good friend of mine who's also a coach and a business owner that this is the core of who I am, right? Faith is a huge part of me, and it flows out of me to talk about it through podcasting, videos, sessions. It flows through me, and it also flows through how I'm listening to people. I've had multiple people tons of times talk about depression, suicide, mental health, all sorts of things, and me listening not with the ear of just a trainer, but the ear of someone who's seeking God. So I know what to go to God for when it comes to the people who I'm in the class serving. That has been, I can say at first it was a little scary because I'm like, are people going to get weirded out from it? But people, the right people came, and the people who are not saying they are down with the faith stuff, they're around. So they're probably picking up. They don't want to say anything yet, but they're around, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. Now with all of this in our programs, our current program that we run, Transformation, which is a 60-day program. It's $1,000, and we help you figure out what are the things that have been stopping you on your fitness journey. How do we bring faith to the forefront of this? And how do we give you the tools to actually work to transform? If anybody knows anything about big changes, you automatically know that you almost want to stop a couple times, but having a guide, having somebody who's been in the forest, who's done the work already, makes it 10 times easier. So we're more so the GPS weekly, daily for you with transformation. And then our popular program, 75 Hard, the Conqueror, is a 75-day journey with other people. You're working, you are pushing, you're discovering, you're figuring out, you're finding out what was going on. It's different from transformation because transformation is a lot more in depth. But 75 gets it. 75 Heart, the Conqueror gets it in. And with all of these, the talks that we have, the meetings that we have, we're talking about God. We're talking about faith. We're asking questions. I've had a lot of people who are Muslim, who are atheists, who are witches ask questions because people want to eventually know God. They're just nervous of, is it going to look like what the church has presented to them? Now, the core of all of this, the core of bringing faith to the forefront, talking about faith more in our podcasts and our programs, is more so because we want to just live out who we are. And it's not to say that when I was doing mainly content and podcasting for other people, all that stuff, it's not to say that that wasn't the core. That was a part. That was a lot of interest that I have and still do have. But at the core, faith is big for me. Fitness is big for me, and family is big for me. So we want to bring those. Y'all heard the mic go out? Okay. We want to bring those things to the forefront because it's important for us and we believe it's going to help a lot of people. So ride along with us. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to go to subscribe. If I can talk, make sure to go and subscribe so that we can help more people. And if you're interested, sign up. Transformation. It's $1,000 and 75 hard. I don't want to say the price because at the time that you're hearing this, the price is literally about to change. But www.drewcost.com, you can get both of those or either or, and let's do some work together. I'm out of here, guys. Be great.